Hello everybody, welcome to qualifying for the 2023 Hyderabad E-Prix. It's round 4 of the Formula E season, and for the first ever time we are in Hyderabad, India as well. The practice sessions have gone very interestingly indeed as well, a very dusty track but slowly getting up on grip as well. But it's been a fantastic start to the season for Porsche powertrains. A little bit of problem there in practice 1 with Verline crashing out as well. He leads the championship. Dennis and him have been 1-2 in every race so far this season. Let's take a look then at the calendar and the Drivers' and Constructors' Championship. So coming into round 4 of the season then, it's been Dennis and Verline domination. Dennis winning in Mexico, Verline doing the double in Saudi Arabia. After this, in 2 weeks' time, we're over in Cape Town in South Africa before a month's break before Sao Paulo. A further month before we return to Europe with a double in Berlin. Monaco, then a double in Jakarta. Portland on the 24th of June. Double in Rome on the 15th and the 16th of July. And then double in London on the 29th and 30th of July to round out the season. In the Drivers' Championship then, we see Pascal Verline leading by 6 points to Jake Dennis after those 2 wins in Diriyah. Sebastian Buemi is nearly 30 points back, more so as well. He's in 3rd position. Sam Bird 4th after a bad start in Mexico, a good weekend in Diriyah. Jake Hughes and Rene Rast doing well for Neo McLaren. Degrassi, Lotto and Mitch Evans and Nick Cassidy round out the top 10. On the second page as well, the last drivers with points as well, with DaCosta 6th, the same as Vern, 4 for Fenestraz, 2 for Mortara, Van Dorn and Ticktum on 1 point. No points for Gunther, Nato, Roland Muller, Sete Camera or Van der Linde. But as we look at the vibrant city of Hyderabad, this is the Teams Championship. Amlin Andretti lead by just 2 points to Tag Heuer Porsche. They have a big gap to Neo McLaren. Envision Racing as well on 41. 3 clear then of Jaguar. Mahindra way off the gap. Penske only on 7 with DS Powertrains. Neo on 4. Maserati 2. Neo 333 only on 1. Apt still pointless this season. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to India as well. Well done for getting up or staying up wherever you are in the world. It's a very early time as well. Even over in India, it's only 10:33 in the morning as well, but we're all set for what is going to be a very entertaining qualifying hour indeed. Good morning straight away to Dimas as well, says hello and welcome to the India for Motorsport Around the World Formula E and MotoGP. Yeah, MotoGP going to race here later on in the year, the Bud International Circuit in New Delhi. Formula E racing here, the Hyderabad Street Circuit. Good morning to Christine, says hello, good morning as well. And let's hope this is going to be a lot better of a qualifying session than we've seen so far this year. Been a bit of confusion. We've had a red flag last time out as well in Diriyah, but it's really been a bit of progression through the group stages. It only got exciting, as predictably it does, when we got in towards the dual segment as well. So this is going to be very entertaining. Qualifying draw underway in around about 6 minutes' time as well. We'll have qualifying 1, Group A. That'll be 12 minutes. Then Group B, another 12. The quarterfinals gets underway at 11:17 local time. That's 6 minutes past the hour. 57 minutes past the hour. Then we got the semi-final and the final as well before the race starts. The problem is here, as you can probably tell by my notes up here in the commentary box, this is the timetable, as well as when we're on air, off air, and all the other informations we have. There's a 5.5 hour gap between India and the UK, which means that the notes to know when exactly we're on air, not on air, is absolutely unbelievable, as is also the sleep schedule as well. But for family reasons as well, I've only had about 1 hour, 50 minutes sleep in the past 24 hours as well. But it is getting just a little bit adrenaline kicking in now as well, and putting those matters to one side and deal with them later as well. Sadly, we had a family member pass away last night as well, which is heartbreaking. It's hit us all very hard indeed. So I do apologise if sometimes during today as well, across qualifying the race, I'm a little bit slow in some matters as well. But the person who passed away was a massive fan of what I do as well, and I'm going to do this one for her as well, so she'll be hopefully enjoying this one for wherever she is as well. But getting back to qualifying, we're getting in now. First group coming up. Let's take a look at who's going to go out there on the circuit as well. It'll be Pascal Wehrlein, Sebastian Buemi, Jake Hughes, Lucas de Grassi, Mitch Evans, Antonio Felix da Costa, Sasa Fenestraz, Stoffel van Dorn, Max Gunther, Oliver Oehlen and Sergio Sette Camera. They will be heading out in Group A on this circuit. And there's actually a look at the circuit as well. Track temperatures are 42 degrees, air temperature 33, 25% humidity, probability of rain is to 35 as well. But Radzy's down at Porsche.
Well, I'm with the Porsche team principal, Florian Modlinger. Florian, obviously, unfortunate circumstances what happened with the shunt with Pascal Wehrlein yesterday. How is he, first of all?
First of all, he was checked yesterday. Still, he is okay, luckily. He has a bit of pain after such a crash, logic. But he did a very good free practice 2 session where everything ran smooth. And I'm quite happy to see him performing like that in the car.
That's great news. There were rumours about whether it was his ankle. We saw him sort of moving his shoulder as he got out of the car yesterday. Do we know what the actual issue was? He felt in general a bit of pain, and after such an impact it's clear that the muscles close and you feel the body stress, but he feels fine. And regarding the car, we had a VCU, vehicle control unit dysfunction, which led to what we saw yesterday. And the root cause of this will be deeply followed up with FIA together, and the investigations are ongoing. And in terms of that issue, so is that now resolved? Do we know how it could potentially affect qualification?
We have taken precaution measures to avoid this today, but root cause will be still investigated with the FIA together.
Thanks for your time. Good luck for qualification.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely fantastic then, and we'll hope as well that that situation does get cleaned up shortly. Now, we've got Stefan Media is trackside as well this weekend, and he put a tweet out saying that Porsche has identified a VCU dysfunction on car 94 of Pascal Wehrlein in FP1 yesterday, whose root cause is being investigated closely with the FIA. Although not confirmed, this could be associated with the ongoing CAN issues regarding the dysfunctionality of the LEDs and software interface. Do you remember in Mexico we were talking about the fact that the LED lights were flicking on and then sometimes not flicking on as well? So we need to see exactly what the change is going to be there, and hopefully as well that the problem is rooted out, because that was a nasty accident for Pascal Wehrlein yesterday as well. We had a YouTube short of it, actually. That's on there as well on the YouTube channel of JB Motorsports as well. So you can scroll through that as well. But we're getting ready for qualifying. Could it be a Jaguar front row? Sam Bird was top in practice too. We're about to find out. Here it comes then. It's qualifying for the India E-Prix. Well, the sun is beautifully lighting up here at the Hyderabad Street Circuit for round 4 of the 2023 ABB FIA Formula E World Championship. Group A coming up out then. Pascal Wehrlein in the Taiko Porsche after he's crashed in FP1. Can he get through to the duel? Sebastian Buemi was quick in free practice 1 as well. Jake Hughes took pole position last time out. Then it's Lucas de Grassi, Mitch Evans, Antonio Felix da Costa, Sasa Fenestraz. Stoffel van Dorn's been having the pace so far this weekend as well. In the DS Penske, looking a bit more up there. Max Gunther, 9th. Oliver Oehlen, 10th. And Sergio Sette Camera will be 11th and last driver to head out onto the track as well. Green light coming up in 3, 2, 1. And it's green light, and away we go for qualifying A here for the Hyderabad E-Prix. Drivers will be heading out there on their first set of tyres that they used across shakedown practice 1 and practice 2. And then getting ready for this first run. We didn't see much change of tyres between the groups in Mexico, but we did see it in Diriyah in their 2 qualifyings. The track here is around about a 1 minute 17 second per lap, so whether or not we get to see cars coming into the pit lane, that would be something as well. Car is out on the track, and it's one of the Neos out there as well. It's Sergio Sette Camera. Sebastian Buemi is also heading out there as well. If you didn't join us for the practice practice highlights that aired at 4:15 a.m. GMT. Verline had a nasty accident in practice 1 as well. The throttle stuck open as well coming through turn 18. It's a slow corner turn 18 and he was going flat out on the throttle. Whacked the wall hard on the left hand side. The car was completely rebuilt ahead of practice 2. In the second practice as well, after Buemi topped FP1, practice 2 was topped by Sam Bird, but the DS Penske's were looking quite quick as well. But also, traffic is an issue at this circuit. It is one of the fastest street circuits we've ever had in Formula E, and it really does show as we see there's a group of train of cars coming out turn 3. That's got Verline along with Van Dorn, and I think the 13th, that's Da Costa, who's all together as well. We've just got the Envision there as well ahead, so that is going to be Sebastian Buemi along with Sasa Fenestras, and I can't see that's number 11, so that's going to be Lucas de Grassi, who's just behind him in the Mahindra on home soil. Both Mahindras going out in this session as well, of Lucas de Grassi and Oliver Rowland as well. Sergio Sette Camera crosses the control line. Now remember, the start line is on the run down towards turn number 3. The control line, the finish is at the exit turn 18 at the top of your screen there. So where the SCL2 is on your driver tracker, that is where that's where the qualifying control time is. The start line, you can see that highlighted for you. That's on the run down towards turn 3. That's where attack mode is activated. First sector time for Sergio Sette Camera is a 23.590. Verline was hit the fastest third sector, but hasn't actually done the complete lap time yet. So this is the first one's coming on the board. Good morning, SHT. Love the qualifying session, the race to be carried out this early. I completely agree with you as well. That with other things I've got going on as well, I'm glad that it's a night race as well. Not so glad I've only had limited sleep, but and other things also going on as well, but we'll get on with that and focus on. Luckily, we'll have Edward Hunter and Nick Homewood with us in the race coverage later on today, so they will help me out a lot, the commentary. Sergio Sette Camera then, fastest second sector. Sasa Fenestras has just taken the 2 sectors. A 23.177 and a 23.484. Sergio Sette Camera is the first time on the board though with a 1:15.350. Here comes Sebastian Buemi in the Envision. He's coming down towards turn 16 and 17, the chicane, alongside the pit entry as well. This is where the dummy grid will be for the race later on. Out of 18, across the control line when the checker flag will be later. Buemi goes top, 1:15, but briefly he was at the top. Sasha Fenestras does a 1:14.446. On board now with Pascal Verline in the Porsche. Meditate and recuperate is what's on the halo this weekend. Cross the line then, and Verline goes second on a 1:14.836. So it's Fenestras, Verline, Buemi, Sergio Sette Camera is the top 4 at the moment. Da Costa 5th, Van Dorn 6th, De Grassi 7th. Not going through to the Jules at the moment. Mitch Evans in the Jaguar makes it P2. Verline, I think he's backed out on his lap time coming down towards turn 3. This will be the first corner of the race after the 5 light procedure go out. It's one of the longest runs down to turn 1 on the Formula E calendar. Let's hear from Pascal Verline.
Much more stable on the entry.
And Verline's been given a track limits, so that's dropped him from 3rd to 5th. So the track limits is down at the turn 1 and 2 chicane just after the finish line, so it's quite easy to do straight on. Yeah, no idea. Well, usually we get the messages on the race control chat just alongside you in the commentary box. It hasn't come up at the moment. All we've got is the race control radio check, which happened at 10:30, which is exactly 15 minutes ago now. 7 minutes, 8 seconds to go. Correction, 7 minutes to go. TV pictures slightly behind the timing screens, but not as bad as usual. In fact, the YouTube that we watch on for Channel 4 is actually ahead of the Eurosport coverage we usually watch. But we're on Channel 4 today. Anyway, Sasha Fenestras on the onboard, and he's locked up, and he's gone straight on. No, this is Lucas de Grassi. They've shown the wrong graphic. We're on board with Lucas de Grassi in the Mahindra. He's locked up and gone straight on, I believe, down at turn 6. Yes, it is. So it's down at turn 6. He's gone straight on. Looking not to hit the wall there as well with another brake problem. Sergio Sette Camera's coming to the pit lane then. Pascal Wehrlein is coming down towards turn number 3, squirreling on the brakes as well. A lot of opposite lock taken as he accelerates out through 7 and 8. The little mini chicane on the straight. And into the braking zone now as well. This is where Degrassi's locked up and went straight on. Wehrlein's looking strong. Fastest first 2 sector times once again though for Sacha Fenestraz. 23.106 first sector, 23.454 second sector. And Fenestraz, who I think is coming up towards the line, trying to look. Yeah, he's at turn 17, coming out of the turn 18 now, so we'll keep a look at. Here's Sebastian Buemi, he's just behind that as well. Buemi looking fast. Fenestraz takes it a step further. Buemi crosses the line, and Buemi stays 7th, doesn't improve. He was sentenced off. Fenestraz, though, takes that gap down to a 1:14.204 now as well. He's 4.5 tenths of a second faster than Mitch Evans. On board with the DS Penske of Stoffel Van Dorn as he comes into 16 and 17, nicely taken through the double apex chicane, drifting the car wide, and now out of the last corner, turn 18, across the control line. Van Dorn goes 6th on a, I can't even tell. Time screen's disappeared. 1:15.008. We've got more times coming through. That's why, because Mitch Evans has gone fast. It's on board with Antonio Felix da Costa in the Porsche. Evans fastest, 1:14.194. 10 thousandths quicker than Fenestraz. Roland is in 3rd. Sergio Camera 4th. Wehrlein 5th. Da Costa 6th. Gunther 7th. Van Dorn 8th. Hughes 9th. Buemi 10th. And Degrassi 11th. Hughes goes up to 7th position as well. Gunther 8th now as well. Van Dorn slips all the way back down to 9th. Sergio Sette Camera leaves the pit lane. Pascal Wehrlein is still in that pit lane as well as they try and come through. Let's just have a look at the chat. SHT says Roland just gone into 3rd fastest, and so far the first 3 races this new season, it's Wehrlein and Dennis finishing 1-2 in all of the first 3 races so far. Yep, it's the first time that's happened in Formula E history as well, that the same 2 drivers have taken 1-2 in the opening 3 races, and 100 races and counting. Good karma as well for Antonio Felix da Costa, who starts his centenary race here this weekend. He was on 99 as well. Starting as well, I believe, the 60th E-Prix is Oliver Rowland as well. 40th E-Prix for Sergio Sette Camera. 20th E-Prix for Dan Tincton as well. And they're the big ones here today. Gunther's coming to the pit lane, so he's had enough. Someone's been called into the FIA Weybridge area as well. I think it's one of the Neos. So, well, it must be. Oh, it's not Sergio Sette Camera then, so it must be a Maserati of Gunther.
The first bit, I should say.
That was a much better sector 1 on this lap, okay? We get just under 3 tenths.
That was a much better sector 1 then. We just gained over 3 tenths of a second. That's quite a good call. We're looking in at the Maserati now with the Trident team as well. The Maserati, it's the Trident, obviously, as it comes through. 3 minutes to go in the session, and most of the field in the pit lane. Let's take a replay of Pascal Wehrlein coming through the chicane at 12 and 13. Massive opposite lock, misses the apex of 12 by country mile, and cuts the corner on the inside at turn 13 as well. Oh, and we've got Sergio Sette Camera having to abandon a lap time after he got blocked. Degrassi goes 8th, Buemi down into 11th position now as well. So Degrassi moves up into 8th position. Sergio Sette Camera and the Neos had to abandon a lap time. Who's he got blocked by? Well, let's have a look. Well, he was ahead. The 94th, it's Pascal Wehrlein. So he got blocked by Wehrlein, who's now massively ahead. And there's a car slow at turn 3 and 4 and 5. Yeah, a little bit. I'll tell you what it is. I think it's Degrassi. It is Degrassi. We're seeing it now on our screens. Yeah, Degrassi in the Mahindra at the home race. Well, right now, neither Mahindras are through to the next session. Correction, Roland is through into 3rd place. Now, let's have a look at Sergio Sette Camera then. Through turn 1 and 2. Oh, and Wehrlein was on the racing line and just blocked the Neo Sette Camera. Well, that's just part nature of this track, really. Wehrlein out of 16 and 17 then. 1:45 left on the clock. Wehrlein starts a lap time. The championship leader coming into this championship event as well. after a double victory. He's got a lot of traffic ahead of him there as Verline coming into turn 1 and 2. This might not work out the way you think. The championship leader, Pascal Verline, 6 points to Jake Dennis as well, 68 to 62. And on Verline's push lap, there is a ton of traffic ahead of him. There's cars either side, and he's had to back out the lap time as the DS Penske has blocked him on the inside. The hand goes up as well. Van Dorn has blocked him coming down into turn 4 and 5, and that is not happy at all. The Porsches are living with that as well. Is that why was that? They were told, get out of the way, and we've got a massive traffic jam now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars all running together. You can see them on the driver tracker as well. And this is just pandemonium with 45 seconds to go. Will they even reach the flag? That's a question and a half. I think they might. They should do. Right, that is Degrassi. 8th at the moment. Was a surprise in the opening couple of races. Can he find anything? He starts his push lap and he's actually got clear track ahead of him. Beautifully takes the 1 and 2 chicane, hurtles across the start line and down towards turn number 3, past the 5 red lights, blistering pace, locks up the inside front right tyre though, makes the apex through 3, kicks it up through 4 and 5 with a little bit of oversteer as well, down towards turn number 6. The first sector time is looking strong. The checker flag is out, and Degrassi's first sector is a 23.404. That's an okay one. Instantly involving Sete Camera and Verline. It's under investigation for impeding another driver. That's Pascal Verline, who could get in trouble here for impeding another driver. So we'll keep an eye on that. As big slide from Degrassi coming around the back half of the track as well, and another big slide, and he's missed it. Is he going to be in the wall? Oh, he just gets it stopped. Coming into turn 12 and 13. Degrassi had a massive tank slapper. He didn't look like he was going to stop. I thought he was going to hit the tyre wall, but he managed to slow it down and go through the gap. Degrassi is out of the duels, and he was my pick a winner as well. I might have to change it for qualifying. Let's see. Rowan might actually get on the podium. Jake Hughes, he is up in the middle sector with the fastest of all sector time. Checker flag is out. Degrassi's got 8th fastest. Gunther goes third for Maserati. First time they're going to make it through to the duels. Hughes goes top by 73 thousandths of a second. 114 to 121. Buemi goes 4th at the moment. So 4 drivers cross line. Gunther goes 5th. He's been kicked out. Maserati won't go through. Roland 6th. DaCosta 7th. Van Dorn 9th. And then Verline only goes 6th. The championship leader, once again, does not have a good qualifying. Sete Camera goes 9th. That's it. All done and dusted in the first part of qualifying. Hughes, Evans, Fenestras, Buemi, the 4 to go through. Gunther, Verline, Roland, DaCosta, Sete Camera, Van Dorn and Degrassi all miss out on a qualifying opportunity here in Hyderabad. Well, I didn't expect that. That is a very big surprise that Verline hasn't gone through. Dennis has a chance to go through in Group B, but the championship leader, once again, 5th on the grid. That means, realistically, he'll start on row 7 in 13th or 14th position. That's a big if. This is Degrassi locking up the rear tyres and just getting it stopped into the tyre breaker. Coming through 12 and 13. I honestly thought he wasn't going to get it stopped. He was sliding so much on it as well and almost hit a wall. And such a bag on the re-drag as well. It's sliding off. So, SHC asks, if you were to choose between Verline and Dennis, who do you reckon has the upper hand to win the championship? Dennis, I would say, over Verline. And Hughes is under investigation for under minimum pit stop time. So Jake Hughes, who's just topped this session and has progressed through the duels, is under investigation for not being under the minimum pit stop time. You can see it on your monitor. So that could change it. And if he gets kicked out of qualifying, they'll put Gunther up into the duels for Maserati. Interesting. Well, Group B is going to start soon. Another 12 minutes of the session. Let's have a look at Verline. What's he done? Oh, this is Verline getting blocked on his run by Van Dorn at turn 3. Yeah, and a hand goes up there for Verline. Perfectly understandable as well. wonder why he was under investigation for minimum pit stop time. What could they do in that instance as well? Group B, gonna start in around about 2 minutes' time. Let's head over to the World Feed commentary. Jack Nichols is with Karun Chanuk and Nelson Piquet Jr.
Sort of minimum time you have to spend in the pits.
Sorry, what I mean, like in terms of penalty.
Oh, penalties. Yeah.
I've not seen anyone penalised for that before.
Maybe a lap time deletion or something like that. We'll get an update from race control as soon as we get it. Let's head down to the pit lane. Nikki's there.
I am indeed. Jake Hughes, again, in his rookie season. I mean, he's qualified P3, P2, P1. This is just phenomenal.
He's
unstoppable in qualifying.
good team, good driver. I mean, he's on it. I mean, he got the car pretty quickly. I mean, he got used to the car, to the new technology and everything. Really impressed with him. But it was, what a qualifying session
it was. Yeah, not so good for Pascal Wehrlein, obviously getting caught in traffic. I mean, that just shows how timing of just leaving the pit lane is so critical.
Yeah, but it wasn't only that. I mean, missing first practice, FP1, didn't help them at all. This is such a tricky track, so hard, high-speed corners, that missing first practice really got them a step back. So, I mean, I don't know. It was something for qualifying would have been difficult for the Porsche drivers, having missed half of practice. So, but yeah, it is what it is.
It is indeed. Yeah, we just saw Stoffel van Dorn walk past us. Obviously,
not very happy.
Hugely disappointing for him yet again. Just cannot find that qualifying pace. I mean, at this point, can they turn things around?
I mean, they'll try. I'm sure they have very good people working over here. They've won 2 championships, this team already, 3 actually. I'm sure they're going to be working hard to just turn things around, understand. We have the second car going out soon. Yeah. So let's see what happens. I think Stoffel's a very good driver. I'm sure it's going to sort out.
He's going to claw it back. He is a world champion, of course. Right, let's go back to Jack.
Group B is underway as we wait to see what is going to happen with Jake Hughes and his lap time. He's under investigation still, and he's topped the session. He goes through along with Evans, Fenestraz and Boemi. In this Group B, Jay Dennis, who's second in the title, Sam Bird, Rene Rast, Andre Lotterer, Nick Cassidy, Jean-Eric Verne, Eduardo Mortara, Dan Tickton, Norman Nato, Nico Muller, and Kelvin van der Linde down in 11th position as well. Is that going to be the key opportunity we need to see going forward as to who will be faster and who won't be? Incident involving Sete Camera and Wehrlein will be investigated after the session. And Wehrlein definitely blocked him. I wonder if Van Dorn might get investigated as well for blocking Wehrlein, coincidentally enough. And that could be a grid penalty for Wehrlein, though. If they do deem it was a block too much, the championship leader could be facing a weekend from hell here in Hyderabad. Let's hear from Dennis on the radio.
Higher temperature.
Big gap behind Bird if you want it, big gap.
Big gap behind Bird if you wanted it. I think he does. Lotterer is going to go for a lap time, though, in the Andretti. The Avalanche Andretti. And don't forget as well, Lotterer with a Porsche powertrain. Still yet to win a Formula E race is Andre. Could he have an opportunity here with Wehrlein in trouble? Locks up, coming into turn 3. Makes the apex so sweetly. The direction of these, and he's up. First sector, 23.319, fastest of the bunch so far. Muller, wow, Nico Muller, first sector, 23.319 as well. They're exactly the same time. Sliding on through the corners now for Lotterer. Across the fast bobsleigh section. Wonderful circuit, this Hyderabad. Absolutely love it. It is one of the great picturesque Formula E circuits we've got. It reminds me a lot of Buenos Aires crossed with Santiago. It's that kind of track as well. As Muller's got the fastest first 2 sectors. Lotterer is okay, but coming into 16 and 17 now as well. Locks up coming into 16, makes the apex of 17 though. He's a lot slower though. Lotterer, this could be a 115, I reckon. 114, 115, 164 precisely. Muller's behind him even faster in the app. Cooper goes top. Look at that. Lotterer lost 0.6 of a second on that opening gambit alone. So 114.549 as well. Across the line comes Kelvin van der Linde, 3.5 seconds off. Abt will be making a decision who's going to drive next time out in South Africa, whether it'll be Kelvin van der Linde. The rumour is also Daniel Abt could be making a return to Formula E with the new Abt team as well. Named after him, of course, with his father now having back ownership after Audi dropped out 2 seasons ago. Dennis, second in the title, goes 4th. And Cassidy goes 2nd, pushes Dennis down to 5th position as well. Cross the line comes Dan Tincton, 3rd fastest. Cross the line then, I think that was the 2nd Avalanche Andretti. DS Penske, though, looking quick. Can they have a weekend return to form? Finally, after 3 miserable races so far, Verne goes top. 4.5 tenths of a second clear of Nico Muller to 1:14.095. Rene Rast goes 2nd. Closes it down to 31,000 separating the two. It's a 1:14.095 for Verne. Rast is a 1:14.126. Nice and close between the two of them as well. 9 drivers set a lap time then. Dennis, Bird and Mortara yet to set a lap time. We're on board with the Brit Jake Dennis now. 2nd in this Formula E World Championship. First sector time for him is okay. It's a 23.412. Second sector is a 23.722. Sam Bird, however, is doing a 22.936, fastest of anyone at all in that first sector time. Into 16 and 17 for Dennis. Had to take a couple of bites at that as well. The understeer of the car was shaking it around over the bump into turn 18. Hits the accelerator once again across the control line. Dennis only manages 6th again. These Porsche powertrains cannot qualify. Bird, however, fastest of all first sectors. We've got track audio back now. We've gone off-board cameras as well. Second sector, well, it's a personal best, but he's still up on Verne by 71 thousandths of a second as well, through the 12-13 chicane. Bird makes it. This time around, he practiced 2 earlier on. He didn't make it and went straight on. Bird got a lot of traffic. That is Jean-Eric Verne getting out of his way. Current topper. Is Bird going to put it through? Evans went through 2nd fastest in Group A. Can Bird make anything? He's so close to the wall coming out the last corner. Bird lost a lot of time, but he goes 3rd fastest. The top 3 separated by 92 thousandths of a second, and that 92 thousandths with the slide coming out the last corner for Bird. So it's Verne 1:14.095. Rast is a 1:14.126. Bird a 1:14.187. On board with Andre Lotterer now through the 16. Red flag. We've got a red flag somewhere on the track with 6 minutes and 4 seconds to go. Lotterer just did complete his lap time though before that red flag gets called now, and I can't see where the red flag is on the track. It's just come out as red flag. And Jake Hughes has had cancelled 2 best lap times, did not respect the minimum pit stop time. So Hughes, I believe, has been kicked out of the duels. I believe it was Evans, Fenestraz, Buemi, Gunther, the top 4. And why have we got a red flag, Jack?
Turn 16.
The car.
Oh, here we go. It's Abt. Van der Linde.
Oh, and there it is, and it is.
It's Kelvin van der Linde who has stopped down at. Well, where is that? On the driver tracker, it's at turn 17, but that's I don't know where that is. I think he's gone straight on. It's in a weird position there. It's not crashed, it's come to a stop, and that's what's brought the red flag out. Well, this will mean we'll get a very action-packed 6 minutes. Where is it? Oh, there it is. They've had to move the cam. He's gone completely out of the camera's view. He's literally gone straight at turn 16 into a little cubby hole. Here it is on board. So, into turn 13. Looks okay. I presume the car just dies out. Let's have a listen to Karun.
Now before, yesterday his problem was he hit the brakes.
Oh, he's locked up,
and the car kept going straight.
Like that.
Yeah.
And did he hit again? Yeah, second
Exactly
time.
the same thing. And nudges into the
Oh man, I had a failure again.
Now, van der Linde in the shakedown session yesterday had a brake failure, and even the emergency brake didn't help him. He just went straight on, and exactly the same thing has happened again, and he's damaged his 2nd wing of the weekend. Does he have any left? So he's damaged. Yesterday he damaged wing 1, and now he's damaged wing 2.
When you're on a street circuit with walls and barriers.
Oh, apologies for the language.
Well, apologies for the language there.
Yeah, and just an update, you can see Jake Hughes cancelled 2 best lap times, did not respect minimum pit stop time. So that would be him out, I presume, of the duels, because everyone improved their lap times towards the end. Well, we'll keep an eye on that. we'll keep an eye on that and get back to you. Red flag then. Let's take a reset of where we are. Vern fastest, 1:14.095. Rast second, Bird third. All right, let's go to Jack.
So, and Jake Hughes cancelled 2 best lap times for not respecting the minimum pit stop time. So Hughes has his 2 best lap times cancelled, and that will promote Max Günther into the duels. So Günther will go up into the duels. I don't know exactly how far that drops Hughes down, but he will be out of the duels, and that's the end of Jake Hughes' session.
So that's the first time Günther's made the duels, I think, isn't it?
Yeah,
so that's good for him. Bit of a boost after a very difficult weekend in Diriyah.
So, big news for Jake Hughes. Let's head down to Radzi.
Yep, Rads has got it all.
Well, I'm just stood outside, as you can see here, the McLaren garage here. Delighted to be joined by Ian James. Unfortunate situation for Jake Hughes. Can you give us an update on exactly what happened? Because he's done so well in the last 3 qualifications.
And today as well, we see his one-lap pace is phenomenal again. P1 in that group session. We messed up as a team. There's a rule which says there's a minimum pit stop time. We didn't adhere to that today. We need to understand why. But it means that his 2 fastest lap times has been deleted, and that's obviously going to be a blow from a qualifying perspective. We need to regroup and see what we can do from a strategy perspective now from towards the back of the grid.
It's his rookie season. This is all new for him. It's new for many of us as well. How do you think he'll respond to this in terms of the race, and do you think it will possibly affect the outcome?
Yeah, I mean, just to stress, this is nothing that Jake could have influenced. It's a team error, and it's therefore doubly disappointing for him. But I've just spoken with him. He's as stoic as he always is. One of the reasons that Jake's got this race seat is because of how professional he is. And I've got absolutely no doubt that he'll bounce back and get his head down for the race. So in that respect, not an issue, just very disappointed.
Obviously, the other driver, Rene Rast, went well in free practice, went well in the last few races, and as importantly got points. So all is not lost by any stretch.
No, that's right. And the team is already very much focused on getting that car through and hopefully into the duels. But we've got a few minutes left of this session, so anything can happen.
Anything can happen. That's why we love Formula E. Thanks so much for your time. Nikki, it's back to you.
Thanks, Razzie. Hugely disappointing there for Jake Hughes. But, you know, as Ian James was saying, it is so in his personality. He's so professional. I can imagine it won't really affect him mentally going into the race too much. Whereas there are some drivers, though, I would say that it really would.
But it's his first season.
Yeah.
You know, doing an amazing job. I mean, it even gets him a few more credits for the team, you know. There's nothing to worry about. I mean, he's doing an amazing job. He's going to be very quick in the race. We're going to see him coming by. There's no doubt about it. He's going to score points on the race later on. So congratulations. Congratulations. But it's a shame that they did a mistake, but it's it's the rule, you know. So everybody does mistakes. Team sometimes does a mistake as well.
We can see Kelvin van der Linde there, who has gone into the garage trying to have a quick chat, obviously, with the team about what happened. Bit of a disappointing one for him as well. Obviously, it was the same issue that he suffered with earlier in the day.
Yeah, it seems to be an issue only in his car because none of the other powertrains are having the same issue. So it's something happening only in his car. It's a shame because obviously he's still getting used to the car as well, and having these kind of issues, taking the braking confidence in these cars in street tracks, it's the worst. I mean, it's the worst thing ever because basically there's not much runoff area. It's not like you're in big tracks where there's gravel traps, anything like that. Once you have no brakes, that's a big issue. So if the driver doesn't have that confidence, it's one of the worst things that you can have inside a car, especially in qualifying. So hopefully they can fix it and he can have a good race later on.
Now, obviously, there's one driver's loss is another driver's gain, and it actually puts Max Günther now into the qualifying duel. So he now has the opportunity to show what he can really do for Maserati.
Yeah, Max had a bit of an unfortunate weekend in Saudi. It was a bit of a crash, but we know he's an amazing driver. He's done a lot of beautiful races last season. So, yeah, gets a bit lucky. Let's see what happens in the duels now.
Yeah, absolutely. We can go back to Jack now in commentary.
So, red flag is out. We are waiting for the restart as... Oh, let's hear on the radio.
Has just been on the radio to say it'll just be a few minutes. This is Max Günther's onboard as he comes around turn 6.
Okay, so Scott Elkins, the race director, has said will be back underway in a few moments' time. Tuk Tuk Racing, however, is taking over main focus here as we're under the red flag at the moment. Linda watches on, just waiting to see what he can do then later on in the race. Red flag out. But Buemi is ready in the car again, so he'll be going through. Along with Gunther, yeah, I'm just having that confirmed in my ears. Cassidy in the other division, also in the car. He'll be ready to go out. I'm surprised Buemi hasn't actually hopped out yet. Maybe they're just doing a quick run and through something as well that needs him in the car. Karoon to the sky pad.
Across to the pad here to have a look. Now, this is interesting for me because the first chicane, Sam Bird has been really committed on the entry, on the way in. And also just the minimum speed he's carrying through here, much quicker than Jake Dennis on the right. Now, if I look at the approach, both drivers there, and effectively, when you're in the cockpit, you're aiming for that wall. It sounds a bit silly to say, but you are basically, your eye line is towards that orange wall and aiming to miss it, but as little as possible. And if I move it along, you'll just see here how close Jake is to it. But Sam, a bit more committed. You can see he's a bit wider than Jake on that part of the track here. You can see the center line for Jake, whereas Sam a little bit wider, and he's just basically carried more speed through that first part. I'll move it along so we get to the hairpin at turn 3, because down the straight, not much to look at. But at the hairpin again, look at this. Big lock up there for Jake Dennis. He's much wider off that apex. You can see just how far he is from that, whereas Sam Bird right on that apex curve, and therefore he's gained a huge amount of lap time because Jake really struggling to put the power down, and that really were the two big differences in that first part of the lap between these two drivers. I'm going to come back to commentary and join you, Jack.
Thank you, Karoon. I can't wait. See you in 12 seconds. So we're just a minute or so away from the... No, we're not. We're good to go now.
We're green.
So
green again. Go.
Session back underway. Vern, Rast, Bird and Muller, the 4 drivers who are advancing through at the moment. And at the moment, it is both Avalanche Andretti's missing out. As I said, Hughes and Buemi, the only 2 drivers to have made it through to the duels in every session. So no one has that run to keep up here. Rene Rast has been in the duels in the last 2, but this is interesting now. No one's going straight out here, are they?
No, waiting.
Maybe all just waiting to do an out prep push at the end of this session.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's not quite enough time to go out, come back and change tires. So they would have all, I think, changed tires during this red flag and then just bide their time, because what do they need? You know, they need to go out with probably 2 and a bit minutes to do a slow out lap if they wanted to. So if you went now, you could do a 2-minute lap, a fast lap, and another sort of minute and 40 lap to get 2 timed ones in.
Yeah. So we'll see what maybe do.
Well done to Karoon. Literally, the commentary box is in the garage setup. If you remember last year how they had the garage on one side and then they had the presentation area on the other. That's pretty much what it is here this weekend in India. So the commentary box is literally 12 seconds away from the others. But we have got cars on the track. They're all coming out now as well, which is great news as well for the closing minutes of this Formula E Group B quali. We haven't even got to the duels yet. It's taken a long time, this qualifying so far. But fingers crossed, it's going to be a lot more entertaining, a lot more needed as well, these 2 sessions. Just taking a look actually to see if there's anything from the commentary books I can direct you to, but Saunders hasn't put anything on and neither's Karoon just yet, so hopefully maybe later on there'll be something. Cars coming then for their up laps here in Hyderabad. Track temperature 47 degrees, air temperature 33, 28% chance as well with the humidity. Probability of rain is 35%. Can hear a proportion effect as well from Cassidy as they come through into the braking zone then as well. Down towards turn number 3, accelerating hard. The electric power hits the brakes. Activate, no need for regen. Full on lap times here with 350 kilowatts of power available. Over 200 miles an hour on this fastest street circuit we've run in Formula E. Through a Montreal-style section, Cassidy getting the wheel a bit loose, missed the apex. First sector, it's down. Rast is in the pits. Rast has gone back out again. 31 thousandths off of Vern. There's still time. Mortara has had his best lap time deleted and is 20 seconds back. So he's not even in class on the board yet, Mortara, in the Maserati. He's still got to find some time. Cassidy, out of turn 18, accelerates. Lap time is 4th fastest with a 1:14.234. Andre Lotterer, 6th at the moment. Bit of a slow lap there, 1:18, 3.8 seconds off the pace. Norman Nato goes into 6th position. Eduardo Mortara is on a lap time now. Here he is. No, hang on. Mortara goes 5th. One ball with Sam Burch. He's at the fastest middle sector of anybody. Burch is 3rd. Cross the line then for Dennis. He goes P6. 2/10 down. Ticktum's gone 7th fastest on the full power lap times as they start to come through. Jean-Eric Verne is still the fastest man. Personal best in the middle sector, but he's backed off the lap time. So Verne, Rast, Bird, Cassidy, 1, 2, 3, 4. Mortara 5th, Dennis 6th, Ticktum 7th, Muller 8th, Nato 9th, Lotterer 10th. Van der Linde is not going to complete any more lap times after he caused the red flag. So he is 11th. Jay Penske watching on in the DS Penske Automobile garage. And then Sylvain Philippe watching on. James Barkley down at Jaguar looks on intensely as well. In the pits, let's hear from Bird.
Keep on running out of talent. Too early in the lap. It's my fault. It's not the car.
Didn't get that.
My fault, says Sam Bird, for those track limits. Right.
My fault, says Sam Bird, for those track limits. That's why Bird only stayed 3rd. He had his lap time deleted. I thought he improved a little bit much. Rast is now on with 5 seconds left. He's gone very attacking through 1 and 2 on his opening lap time as well. Down now across the start line towards turn number 3. Such an interesting first corner for the start of the race. It's a hairpin. You know how that turns out in Formula E. Quick chicanes coming up. I'm very much looking forward to the Hyderabad E-Prix. On air at 9 AM GMT. Race starts at 9:30 GMT. On air for 2 hours as well, according to this. Qualifying was supposed to be 1 hour 30. I think it's going to go slightly over that now, as it's 10:06 and we haven't even had the duels yet. Rast down in both sectors. Not getting much on this as well. It's taken 40 minutes to complete the duels. Checkered flag is out. Session concludes, and I don't think anybody's improving out there. Rast out the last corner. Can he find a surprise? He's looking quick, and he's done it by 4 thousandths of a second. Rast is top. 1:14.091, 4 thousandths quicker than Verne. Bird, Cassidy, 3-4. Can't see any more improvements out there. Faster first sector, Mortara. Same goes. Okay, Cassidy goes 4th, so he stays where he is. Lotterer 2 and 3 coming as well. So Lotterer is next up to cross the line. There's the checker flag just on the other side of the track. Lotterer takes it. Stays 10th. Wow, Porsche's not doing well qualifying. Norman Nato, 7th only. Cross the line. Mortara goes through to the duels. Mortara's beaten Cassidy. Bird stays 3rd. Out. That's Muller, stays 9th. Can Dennis get through? Cross the line now for Jean-Eric Verne, stays 2nd. Ticktum goes 8th, and that's it. So Mortara makes it through to the duels for the first time this season. Maserati are through to the duel stage. It's René Rast who has topped Group B with Jean-Eric Verne 2nd. Sam Bird is 3rd. Eduardo Mortara is 4th. And go out of qualifying Cassidy, Dennis, Nato, Ticktum, Muller, Lotterer, and Van der Linde. And by my calculations, I believe Dennis and Verline are going to start side by side of the grid.
Are we out?
Stand by. By the way, that's P1. P1, well done.
Nice, nice. Good job, boys.
And the quarterfinals will start in 7 minutes' time. Let's take a look then. Shocker for Bed Degrassi and Van Dorn as well as Verline. And that's from SHT. Which driver do you think has the best chance of winning the new FIA Formula 2 Championship this year? I'm not too sure, to be fair. Arthur Leclerc's got a very good shout of it. I think he's going to be one to watch. SHT says, Shockers, both current championship leaders don't make it to the duels. Verline will be relieved. Absolutely, he will be. So, Hughes gets kicked out. Evans, Fenestraz, Buemi, Gunther are in the quarterfinals. Rast, Vern, Bird, Mortara also in the quarterfinals. Quarterfinals will start at 11:27 local time. It's 11:21:30 at the moment. So coming up on 6 minutes. Here's Group B. Results from Group B then. Rene Rast, Jean-Eric Verne, Sam Bird, Eduardo Mortara go through to the duels. Nick Cassidy, Jake Dennis, Norman Nato, Dan Ticktum, Nico Muller, Andre Lotter and Kelvin van der Linde causing a red flag don't progress to the duels either. Back over to Jack.
So, Rene Rast through to the duels for the third race in a row. Sam Bird through to the duels. For only the
First off though, let's take a look at what those duels will entail. And who will be going where? No? Okay. Well, the first, Nicky's down the pits.
I am indeed, with Team Principal James Barclay, who has hopefully had a little bit of pressure lifted this morning. Both cars, both drivers looking really strong and are both into the duels.
Yeah, it's that first important hurdle, right? Getting both cars through the duels is key here. That's an important step. Let's see what we can do in these next phase of quali. But yeah, it's always a key point in the weekend if you can get through.
Overall, over the course of the weekend, they have both been looking quite strong. What's changed? What have you been working on since last time out in Saudi?
Well, I think we showed really good pace. Mitch qualified second to the second race in Saudi, so you know, we've seen we have good pace. Since actually Mexico, it's just about putting all the ingredients together, both in qualifying and then critically come race, making sure we can execute the best strategy.
Yeah, excellent. Well, James, we will leave you to it because I know that the guys are going out in a second, so good luck.
Thanks, Nikki. Thank you.
We'll catch up afterwards. Thanks. Thank you. Well, Nelson, actually, James is, of course, your own old team boss.
Been around I'm not used to being in the camera over here, being at the microphone, so on the
We don't
way
want you to
over
get
here,
run over, in fact, yeah. That's Sam coming in right now. But yeah, I mean, this is a fantastic start, isn't it, for Jaguar? Because
especially for Sam. I mean, Sam used to be every weekend on the pace now, so he's got his confidence back. He has a good team. He has a good car. So he's going to have a very good season, you know. So I'm looking really forward to it. I'm happy for him. It's always hard being a driver having a bad season because it's something it doesn't seem to finish, you know. And he's turned it around. He's having a great season, and I'm sure he's going to have a great race.
Excellent. Well, fingers crossed it all goes well for him in the duels. But for now, let's go down to Radzi.
Thank you. I'm just outside the garage here with team principal Jay Penske for obviously DS Penske. So mixed fortunes for yourself. Jev through, Stoffel not gone through. But let's talk about Jev first of all. No duels up to this point. He's finally got across the line. Big moments.
Yeah, as he said on the radio when he was coming in, this was a small victory for us that we need to continue. The guys worked awful hard. Jev put together a really good lap. Shows you how close it was. 4,000ths between him and Rast for the quickest in the session, and excited for the next set of duels.
In terms of free practice in Mexico and Saudi, partly here, strong performances, but hasn't quite converted to quali and race. What do you put that down to?
Yeah, we're still working on this. To be fair, we don't have the exact answer yet. There's a lot of work to do on the 300 laps and just the track evolution from free practice to qualifying. And caught Stoffel out today, and we got to figure this out. Still not where we want to be.
Thanks for your time. Race well.
All right, thanks.
So good news.
Well, I've just had it confirmed in a tweet as well, as I'm just going to have to move my mouse away from interrupting the OBS stream. Jake Hughes has put out, finished P1 in group, but a small miscalculation will mean we start at the back we clearly have a fast car, so we'll be pushing hard later on as well. So JQ is going to start at the back of the grid in 22nd position. So he was completely kicked out of the duels. So that puts Degrassi up into 10th as well. But that could rejig things as well. Gunther will get another lifeline to go through into the duels as well. Not hearing much on the audios. It is working.
Oh, what's that? Is that?
That's Jack.
What is that? Goat in the back of that van up there? I think it is at the top left.
Oh yeah, some goats.
And some
He's
water
right,
bottles, all the flyover. That's down at turn 3. And a bit busy on the roads at the moment. But it's going to be very action-packed on the Formula E racetrack shortly.
I've just noticed something. We haven't got any Porsche powertrain cars in the duels, have we?
No.
No, you're correct.
So, I mean, the impact of missing yesterday's practice session, for anyone who weren't watching the coverage yesterday, Pascal Wehrlein had a huge accident where they had a bit of an issue with the throttle getting stuck open, sent him into the wall, and then both the Andretti cars as well as Pascal's teammate, Antonio Felix Acosta, was parked for precautionary reasons. So, you know, they missed 50% of the track time in terms of practice, and that's really, really impacted them.
First race in Diriyah, there was no Porsche powertrain. Right, here we go. Quarterfinal 1. Sebastian Buemi versus Sasha Fenestraz. Envision versus Nissan. And on the predictor vote, you guys reckon Buemi is going to win this one? Well, he has been very impressive in qualifying so far this season. Sebastian Buemi, he's made it through to the quarterfinals in every race. He's the only driver now to have been in the duels in every race. Been in the semi-finals twice and the final once. Sasha Fenestraz in the duels for only the second time.
Away we go then for the quarterfinals, number 1 here. And we will have Buemi versus Fenestraz. Duel 2 will be Gunther versus Evans. Duel 3, Bird and Vern. Duel 4, Mortara and Rast. That's the order that we've got. So Gunther and Evans have now entered the fast lane of the pits. They'll be released after Fenestraz crosses the start line, so they don't interfere in the lap times. Buemi, though, been a bit of a resurgence. Bad couple of years at Nissan. Now looking like he's enjoying life and Envision. Can he take a pole position here in Hyderabad? Or Sasha Fenestraz, in the second time he's in the duels, to do something as a bit of a surprise. Here's his radio.
96, full focus on tire heating.
So SHT has said as well. I'm saying Buemi, Evans, Bird and Rast into the final 4. I will say Buemi will beat Fenestraz, Evans will beat Gunther, Bird will beat Vern, and Rast will beat Mortara. So is that the same one? Yeah. I wasn't even thinking that. I do agree with you, SHT. I completely agree with you there. I didn't even think about that, but I completely agree with you. Why is the checkered flag out? What's happened there? Have we had a timing failure? Fenestraz crosses the line now to start a lap time. Yeah, there was a timing failure. So it put out the checkered flag. Wow, okay. Buemi into turn 3, a little bit of a lock-up. Fenestraz just behind him. Buemi is up by 0.185 in the first mini sector. And by the first sector, he is quickly ahead as well. But Fenestraz is catching him. Now just a 10th of a second as well. But with Buemi, with Fenestraz in the picture. So we've got 2 side-by-sides. Fenestraz looking quick. That's the better way of doing the side-by-side pictures. I like that. Took them 2 years to figure that out. Fenestraz back now. Buemi's on the attack. He's pushing hard into the last couple of corners. Out of turn 15. Looks strong. Oh, but Buemi's had a poor exit. Fenestraz is up. He's nearly 24 thousandths behind. Into the 16-17 chicane now for Buemi. Can he find something? Fenestraz is now ahead. Buemi's behind. Buemi across the line. His lap time is a 1:13.599. Fenestraz. Oh, the gap is just 10 thousandths between them. It's so close. out of the last corner. Fenestras hits the accelerator. What's the gap? It's a 10th at the line. It's a 1:13.702 for Fenestras. Buemi goes through into the second of the semi-finals. Well, that was very close, and this was Buemi's mistake as well, which lost in that time. Coming through into turn 15, flicks the car in. The car oversets at the back and has to correct it. Fenestras did come close, you're right. SH2. Next up, Gunther. For the first time, Maserati goes through to the duels. Mitch Evans alongside him. So Buemi went through. I've highlighted him in my commentary notes that do come in handy when we're presenting the pre-race show later on. After this, I'm going for some food. Breakfast. And then I'll be back in the box ready for 9 as well. Quarterfinal 2 gets underway. Gunther starts his lap time. Bird does 2. Just behind. Gunther's out first. Oh, frightfully fast through 1 and 2 for Gunther. Has to shake the car. I think Bird's going to be ahead now. 23.013. Here's Bird to start. Sorry, here's Evans to start his lap time. It's the other Jaguar. It's confused me on the driver tracker. Evans is only 1,000th between them at the line, but I think Evans are going to shoot ahead. No, he's lost time. Through the first mini sector, Evans is 48 thousandths off of Gunther. Well, we know this track does like to award punishment, and it seems to be. Oh no, there we go. Gunther is now 2.5 tenths down to Evans, so that mistake through 1 and 2 has finally caught up with him. Evans is blistering ahead right now as well. So Evans might win this one. Oh, off the track at turn 13 for Gunther. He's 4.5 tenths down now. This is a very messy lap for the Maserati driver of Maximilian Gunther. Into the 16-17 chicane. Flicks it through. A right, then a left. Then a right again at 18. He's over half a second back. So 1:14.621 for Gunther. Evans can sort of cruise around the last couple of corners. He's 1.1 ahead into the last corner. Evans across the line, and it's a 1:13.526, 1.095 seconds ahead of Gunther. Evans will face Buemi in the first semi-final. Bird versus Vern is next up.
Mitch Evans through to the semis, and Max Gunther eliminated in his first duel of the season.
Bird versus Vern then.
It's Sam Bird versus Jean-Eric Vern. Predictor
80% Bird.
80-20. As two big hitters in Formula E, the two drivers who fought it out for the Season 4 title, go head-to-head. Pretty sure it was Season 4.
Yeah,
it's a long time
your
ago.
memory is very good, I'm not going to doubt that.
Okay, Saunders has confirmed it was Season 4.
Yeah, but he needs a Wikipedia page, it's just in your head.
Yeah. So, Bird versus Vern. We've already got one Jaguar through into the semi-finals. This is to be in the other semi-finals, so there's a chance of a Jaguar head-to-head.
There really is. So, Bird starts his lap time then. I think we've delayed it as well, actually. So we're going to watch them side by side. Oh, no, never mind. Bird is so wide through turn 3. Vern starts his lap time. Bird's on the attack, though. Into the hairpin at turn 3. He's just come out 1 and 2, where he made a mistake. Hairpin at 3 looks okay. Vern is approaching now the hairpin at 3. So he's really close behind, isn't he, on the driver tracker? Wow, he really is close. First sector, Bird is ahead by 2.5 tenths of a second. So Bird is ahead of Vern, but Bird's a bit slow. Hey, Bird was very slow coming out of turn 11 and 12. Can Vern catch up there? He was quicker. I think Vern might catch. The gap 3 tenths at the moment, but it is catching. Yeah, Vern is catching Bird. Down into the 16-17 chicane then as well for Sam. Vern just coming out of 15. Vern's catching. 0.132 ahead. Bird on turn 18. Cross the line. Did he touch the wall? It's a 1:13.467. Vern's 31 thousandths behind. Will Vern get him at the line? It's 36 thousandths between them. It's a 1:13.503 for Vern, which means Bird goes through with a 1:13.467. 36 thousandths of a second between them. It's Sam Bird, along with Evans and Boemi, who go through to the semi-finals. Now, Mortara versus Rast. This could get entertaining. Both Maseratis through to the quarterfinals. One of them got kicked out with Gunther. Can Mortara make it through to the semi-finals? Predictor vote, 86% for Rast, 14% for Mortara. Won the build-up laps now. So Bird goes through. So far, SHT, our predictions are correct. But Boemi, Evans, Bird, will it be Rast? We're about to find out. Mortara, first across the line, starts a lap time. Rast is coming into 16 and 17 now. Mortara in towards 1 and 2 chicane. Nearly straight line turn 2. We had a look down as well to see if we lost any delta. First sector is closing. Rast has just started the lap time now. He's into the 1 and 2. Big tank slapper coming out of turn 2. Really Texan style. Mortara's ahead by 0.2 of a second according to the line graph at the moment. First sector times coming on now. And Mortara's a 22.961. Rast is a 23.007. So 46 thousandths of a second between them, 26 thousandths of a second between them at the moment. It is closing. It is closing. It's incredibly tight, this. Rast has gained a 10th now. He's 26 thousandths ahead now of Mortara. So Rast is closing. Even Stevens into for Mortara, 16 and 17. Keeps it nice and calm. Into the last corner then. Lap time's complete. Rast has lost half a second. Mortara does a 1:13.749, and Rast has lost half a second somewhere on the lap. And yeah, Mortara's going to go through. Rast has made a mistake. He's losing the rear grip. Rast across the line. He's half a second down. It's a 1:14.332. Maserati are through for the first time to the semi-finals. Mortara will face Bird. And Rast, the big surprise of qualifying is that he's not going through. He lost half a second in the last sector alone. Very confusing. SSG says, wow, we were very wrong for this. We were. Where did that miscalculation come from?
We give him all the luck now. Yeah. Now we need the speed.
We give him all the luck now. Now we need the speed. You're right there, guys. So Mortara goes through. The Trident team of Maserati will go through to the semi-finals. Okay, this is what happened to Rast. Oh, he lost the rear coming into turn 1 and 2, and that's his first mistake. We saw that with the tank slapper. So that's not where he lost half a second, because he was up in the middle section. He lost half a second in the last second. Ah, here we go. So into 12 and 13 at the chicane, locks the rears and cuts turn 13. Yep, so that's where he basically lost the time. So Rast loses it completely there, out of turn 13 by cutting the corner. Didn't see that on the monitors. Is that Alexandra Agag? Yeah, it is. Down there at the moment at the Neon McLaren team. Oh, as Edward Hunter has started a Twitter account for it as well, the Nemo McLaren team, after their team name got misspelt on the official FIA entry list for this weekend, and it was the Nemo McLaren Formula E team, to which Ed's taken great delight in as well. But Ed and Nick will be with us for the E-Prix in a couple of hours' time. So, quarterfinals complete. Boemi versus Evans in semi-final 1. Bird Mortara for semi-final number 2 here as well. Yep, who do you pick for the finals? Evans versus Bird. I think it'll be the 2 Jaguars on the front row, and I think it'll be between them 2. I do. Buemi 3rd, Mortara 4th. I think that's the way it'll go at the moment. Right. Nicky Shields is standing by in the pit lane with Nelson Piquet Jr. So let's get ready and head down to Nicky.
A few minutes until the semis get underway. Buemi versus Evans and Mortara versus Bird. The grandstand's filling up nicely. So let's get a bit of reaction from those entertaining quarterfinals. Nicky?
Well, this is just getting more and more exciting for Jaguar TCS. The fact that both of them are now through to the semi-finals, but that lap that Sam just put in, 300ths of a second in front of Jean-Eric
Telling
Vergne,
you.
he must be pretty happy.
Sam is doing an amazing job. He's on it. He's back to his amazing performance he always had. So it's going to be fun. I mean, maybe we're going to see both of them together at the finals. There's a high chance. Good for Jag. Shame for Rast. I mean, Rast was coming for a flying lap as well. Shows how quick the McLarens are. And if Hughes would be here, he would have been giving them a bit of trouble. That's
It
for
just shows, though, how they are right on the edge. You know, René Rast there just pushing so hard, just a little bit too hard.
Yeah. Let's have a look at Rast's lap over here when he pushed a little bit too deep. Yeah, he missed by a little bit the hairpin, but that's not a big loss. The biggest loss coming soon when he went a bit wide on the chicane, which is soon. But I think it's the next corner. Yeah, I think it's coming right now. Oops, no. Sorry.
Well, eventually.
No, he was coming a good lap up to then. I think more towards the end of the lap. Here we go. I think it's this part over here. Yeah, he just went a bit too deep, missed the corner, lost his over half a second over there, and yeah, unfortunately he didn't go through. But for sure in the race, we're going to keep an eye on him because he's going to be coming up the field pretty quickly. Him, the Porsche powertrains. So it's going to be a very interesting race because you have a lot of good drivers, fast drivers, especially the McLarens as well, and the Porsches are going to be in the back of the grid. They're going to be coming very quickly, chasing the leaders.
Yeah, I feel like this could be a race that slightly turns the championship on its head. You know, we've obviously seen the dominance from Porsche. They're going to be fighting a bit harder. And then we've got Jaguar DS have also done a pretty solid job today so far. So perhaps this is when things are going to get a little bit more mixed up.
Look, I mean, everything is mixed up over here because you have an amazing teams, amazing drivers. It's so hard to predict what's going to happen. That's the fun about Formula E. You never know who's going to be, you know that there's at least 10 contenders to win the race and 10 contenders to get pole position. So it's just too exciting.
It is indeed. Well, let's find out how the Jag guys get on in their semi-final. Good luck to them.
Thanks, Nicky. Well, we are moments away from the start of the semi-finals. Buemi versus Evans, Bird versus Mortara as well. Give you a reminder of what everybody else looks like as well. In Group A, Verline, Roland, Da Costa, Seti, Camera, Van Dorn, De Grassi, now Hughes didn't progress. Group B, Cassidy, Dennis, Nato, Tickton, Muller, Lotterer, Van der Linde didn't progress. Quarterfinals, Fenestraz, Gunther, Verne, Rast didn't progress. So they're shaping up the grid nicely. We'll get to see what that grid looks like as well. Just after the final, before we go off air, we'll see the full situation of the running order. But right now, we have some semi-finals to kick off as well. Buemi Evans, Bird Mortara, Jack.
So we're having a look here at Sam Bird. Now his lap is under investigation for turn 1.
Did he cut the corner?
Yeah, the track limits. It's on the edge, isn't it?
Tight.
We
That's tight.
I just want to run over to the pad and have a look.
So is that going to be Vern, maybe?
yeah. That's a really, really, really tight one.
So that's what's delaying the session, yeah.
Well, so it is automatically done, but we think it could have been the outlap that's actually under investigation for Bird. So something with Sam Bird is
He's under investigation, though. Yeah, you're right. It's flashed upon my monitors.
Buemi versus Evans, first of all, and Mitch Evans is getting ready to head out there. Second on the grid in the last race in Diriyah. Ended up slipping back a little as the race unfolded and finished in 7th place. Sebastian Buemi has a pole already this season, has the record of most front row starts in Formula E, and if he gets pole, will have the record of most poles in Formula E that he will have fought back. He lost it I think he lost it last season.
Yes, to...
Oh, come on, Karun, help me out. Do you have
Vern.
no knowledge in your locker?
Yeah, he lost it to Vern. Lost it to Vern.
You're hearing for the driving, not for the numbers.
I'm here for the driving.
Vern took pole last year, yeah.
Lost it to Jean-Eric Vern.
I think we talked about that, actually, with Mark Preston when he joined us in the commentary box in Mexico. Scary to think that was over a month ago now. Yeah, it was a month ago. 4 races in a month. Wow. It's exactly how they're going to come thick and fast now. These motorsport events. Next weekend, I think, take it off because it's your last free weekend for a while. We've got the Daytona 500, I suppose, as well next weekend. But testing week after, as well as the South Africa E-Prix. As well. Yeah, don't worry, by the way. We know that most of Formula E clash with the end of testing. We figured that out. I will be commentating in a different commentary box with Ed Hunter for the South Africa E-Prix as well. And we'll get that sorted. Megan Burch and Ian Burch plus guests will be filling in on the Saturday when I'm not in the commentary box as well. We're going to take more of a rotational role in the testing commentary this year. Radsies with Rene Rast.
Your third Jules in 4. Yeah, obviously I'm happy, but still not 100% happy. The groups were quite okay. I was, I think, fastest in my group, but then on the 350 lap, just couldn't really put it together. Made too many mistakes. Was fighting the car a bit too much. So yeah, unfortunately not in pole position, but still a good result.
So 4th row, 7th on the grid. In terms of the race, you keep improving race by race. Is your confidence going up with it?
Yeah, I feel definitely better and better in the car. It's quite a different car compared to what I'm used to. So I still, get more comfortable every session. But obviously, would be nice to at one point be in the 1st row.
Unfortunately, the situation with Jake Hughes, obviously nothing to do with him. But do you know how he is in terms of mentally?
I haven't seen him actually, but it's obviously, very, very unlucky. Things like that shouldn't happen, but sometimes in the heat of the moment, things like that happen.
No doubt you'll both battle. Have a good race.
Thank you. Have fun.
So, good to hear from Rene Rast, who will be in for a strong race later on. Sam Bird on the radio, while we were hearing from Rene Rast, asked, why is Jev sitting in his car still? So obviously the Bird doesn't know yet that he is under investigation, and so now a bit busted.
Yeah, if I'm honest, I'm somewhat confused because it's a pretty straightforward thing to look at, isn't it? There's a point at which the car either is or isn't all 4 wheels beyond the white line. So yeah, I'm a little bit surprised it's taken this long.
It is taking a long time to sort this out now.
We'll keep you up to date as soon as we find anything out.
It's a long delay, whatever it is.
The next duels are about to get underway with Sebastian Buemi versus Mitch Evans.
But yeah, we're waiting to see if Bird will face Mortara.
Is 6th on the grid this season, and Buemi's is 4th, so they've both had very, very strong runs. There is the aforementioned Sam Bird.
Well, it's delays like this that make you think, why are we doing that? Oh.
And it's not just exclusive to Formula E, but the track limits conversation happens all over the world. You get these modern cars where you have this camera comes up on the screen that looks at you from above.
Oh, Bird radio, Bird radio.
Here's Bird's radio.
Please.
Can I have a fan? Okay. He's not worried. He's very much not
got
worried.
loads of fans.
Yeah.
He's got loads of fans,
Well
Sam
done.
Bird.
You're getting them dad jokes. Good.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, if you had that overhead camera,
Yeah.
you know, that shows you the traffic around you, if people get close to you when you're driving on the road,
Yeah.
especially in India. If you had something similar from a racing context, it'll be so easy to see if people are on the white line, won't it?
Yeah, I get what you mean then.
Or you could have the thing, you know, where if you're drifting over the white line and it steers you back the other way.
Oh! Bird and Mortara, deletion of qualifying lap times for track limits. So it's Vern and Rast in semi-final 2. Oh my word! So cars 10 and 4. Let's say if it's got okay.
Just stand by. We're working on some processes, so give us a few more minutes. We'll get everything sorted out. We're working on some judgment calls on the track limits. Thanks.
Well, Bird and Mortara have gone. Yeah, look.
Bird and Mortara have had their quarter-final lap times deleted
for track
limits. And here we're about to see the reaction in the
oh,
Jaguar
James
garage
Barclay's
and the
not
Maserati
happy.
MSG garage.
Also, Bird can see it. Here's Scott Elkin again.
Bird's still sitting in the car.
Scott Elkin, the race director.
Mortara looking up at the timing screens.
Right, here's Scott Elkin, the race director, once again.
Waiting for news.
Well, Scott Elkin keeps pressing the button to talk, and then he's not talking. So Bird and Mortara have had a deletion of qualifying lap times of quarter final. Well, this is entertaining. So semi-final 2 could change to Vern and Rast, which is why we've got this delay. But of course, they're going to appeal it, which means this could take ages, because they can appeal immediately. So this format, the track limits of turn 2 and 3, we knew was going to be a problem since it was announced this morning. 40 times were deleted in practice 2. And now we've got the situation where we don't know what's happening in semi-final 2. Let semi-final 1 go. Here's Bird.
Here's Bird's radio.
For me, my right-hand tyre was on the line, so I don't know why they're doing that.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, Bird's saying his right-hand tyre was on the line. He's pleading his case. Let's take a look at that tyre then. So the right-hand tyre was on the line. Oh, he's all 4 wheels off. On the camera we've just seen, Bird was all 4 wheels off the track. But is that the curb? Is that the curb or is that the track? Oh, that's so annoying.
And he'll have just seen that replay. Yeah. And then maybe have a slightly
is he going to swear? I do apologise.
Analysis of the situation.
Well, what about Mortara? What's he thinking about all this?
Mortara in the Maserati MSG garage.
He's watching the timing screens. Eyes looking like a dog wanting a treat.
Looking up at the timings to find out what's going to happen.
Right.
As I say, it's going to take a little bit of reshuffling. Right, here's Mortara's first corner. Keep an eye on the right-hand side.
He's all 4 wheels off too.
And yeah, he's all 4 wheels off as well. So this is the thing. They're both slam dunks.
Yeah.
Sam dunks.
Oh.
You know what I do dad jokes, don't I?
You do. You just there you go. All the way over.
Rast, deletion of lap times. Track limits. Oh my word! Look at this. Rene Rast, deletion of quarter-final lap time for track limits. So Rast has gone too. Well, hang on a minute. So what are we doing then? What are we doing? Because that's Mortara and Rast have had their lap times. Are we going to have to do the quarter-final again? Are we going to have to do it again? Because Bird's... Well, this is ludicrous. This is absolutely ludicrous. So, Boemi's fine. Evans is fine. But Bird, Mortara... Well, Vern's going to then complain. So, I think Vern is going to go through and take Burch's spot, but I think quarterfinal 4 is going to have to be redone. If both Mortara and Rast have had their lap time deleted, they're going to have to do it again. What is going on? This is ludicrous. And Bird is annoyed. He's stormed off. Mortara can't believe... What is going on? Well, this is ridiculous. The quarterfinal duel 4...
Now here's a look at Rene Rast's first corner.
Does he fall all 4 wheels off?
On the right-hand side. He had that huge slide, actually, didn't he?
Of course, yeah. He slid off the track as well. What I was saying about it. So, of course, Rast has had his lap time deleted. He too was all 4 wheels off the track. Well, this is ridiculous. We're all standing around waiting for a semi-final. What they could do here is scrap the semi-final. This is a hypothetical here, but considering we know that Mortara and Rast have lost their lap times and Bird, then semi-final 2 doesn't need to happen. So Buemi and Evans were clear, so scrap the semi-final and put Buemi and Evans in the final. That's the only thing I can think of right now. The fact is that to sort this mess out, because all 3 of them have lost their lap times. Mortara and Rast are in duel 4. They've both lost their lap times. But then that's unfair to Vern. Yeah, because Vern... that's unfair to Vern, though, because he didn't do anything wrong. Unless they accept third... Well, Vern's not going to accept third on the grid because he's got a shot at pole position. This is an absolute mess going on in Hyderabad. And we've got no idea what the qualifying order is going to be.
Give it a go.
Right.
Well,
Jack.
Well,
the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship
continues to surprise.
Round 4 here in Hyderabad. Brilliant event, by the way. Having a lot of fun out here.
I tell you, it's. I was speaking to some friends yesterday. The local promoters have gone to such... What, the fact that I have friends and you don't?
All right.
They've gone through such lengths to try and get people into the event. I met 2 people, Jack, in our hotel who had flown in from the UK. They were people from Hyderabad who now live in the UK, and they flew in just for this weekend because he says the state have put on such a lot of promotion to support the event.
Okay, we've had it confirmed. Buemi Evans, Vern, and then winner of quarterfinal 4. So Vern has taken Bird's place. That's confirmed. But now we don't know what's happening with quarterfinal 4. Well, we can't send them all. What? No, because that doesn't work either. Oh, send them all out together? Let's hear from Vern.
The grid.
It's just been confirmed on TV that you will be doing your semi-final with a Phantom.
They confirmed by Jack Nichols on
yeah,
TV.
By Phantom. He'll be doing it by Phantom.
I met 3 guys yesterday from Bangalore who'd flown in for the race.
Yeah, it's great. No, I think there's every hotel room in the city is full, apparently.
Yeah, really?
for this. Yeah, no, it's really good. So let's talk about the effect of this, right? Johnny Byrne, he can basically drive around slowly by himself.
Yeah, and
while that sounds obvious, there is a benefit to that for the final because he'll get to go as slowly as he wants and keep the tyres.
Oh yes, so he's through to the final,
which is ideal and in a better position for when you get to the final. So he will have an advantage, whereas Buemi and Evans are gonna have to be absolutely flat out, fighting for every thousandth.
Well, what an event we're having here in Hyderabad already. Let's go and hear from Sam Bird. Actually, he's standing by with Radzi.
Yeah, very much the man at the heart of a slightly bizarre situation. So, Sam, we understood that you exceeded track limits. From your end, how do you react to that?
I mean, I genuinely thought I was on the line when I watched it back from that particular angle. It looks like I'm slightly over. Yeah, you're driving such fine lines. I believe everybody was probably over at some point because the way that they've positioned it, the car's going one way, and they've painted a line that goes the other way. So at some point, yeah, everybody's going to be crossing over there. It's just a case of, it's more luck than judgment on anything else. I think it's very, very harsh. I don't particularly agree with it. We asked for different solutions, and this is the solution that they've come up with. For me, we could have done a better job solution-wise. Really a big shame, because I've been pretty much the fastest all weekend so far. So to be quickest and to have it taken away is gutting. So yeah, I mean, yeah, if you watch the replays, the car's going one way, the track is going the other. I mean, it's a matter of luck, to be honest.
Given the emotion, you've articulated that phenomenally well. Sam, thanks so much for your time. Hope you really race well, which you have done, by the way, in not many duels. So do not write this man off as we head now to the man very much at the top of the team principal of Jaguar, James Barclay.
Thanks very much, Radzi. James, Sam, what Sam was saying there kind of makes a lot of sense. What's your view? And we understand that the team has put an appeal in. Can you just explain to us the process of that?
Yeah, we haven't actually formally submitted an appeal yet. We're just reviewing it ourselves, because right now, yeah, looking at the number of cars that have done it around, you know, is that in, is it out? That's the kind of conversation at the moment, and clearly there's a number of cars which are in that similar, I would say, investigation at the moment, so we just want to have a clear view on it ourselves.
Hugely frustrating for Sam. Do you think he's going to be able to put this to one side and get his head back in the right place ahead of the race?
Well, yeah, we're not done reviewing it yet, but in the context, even if we go back, we're still in a positive point, right? Where we will end up potentially is in a position where we can still fight. So that's the key thing for us. The car's fast. We've seen it has great race efficiency. Sam was very strong in Diriyah, so a long way to go yet.
Brilliant, lovely. Thank you very much, James. Good luck for that session.
Thanks.
Tough one.
Yeah, well, still shows, regardless, Jag Powertrain is doing very well. We have two of them at the end of the pit lane that are going to be fighting to the final. And then Jev, that is going to be a little bit advantage maybe because he has the colder tires. So it's going to be an interesting one, but looking good for Jag, for the powertrain. Anyways, but bad luck for Sam. I was really cheering for him, and I'm sure he's going to be quick and in the race.
Well, let's find out what is about to happen in our semi-finals.
Well, the main one to see who will join Jean-Eric Verne in the final. It's Sebastian Buemi versus Mitch Evans. Predictor, 66% for Evans, 34% for Buemi. Welcome everyone to the most pointless 5 minutes of Formula E history. A semi-final where one of the guys is massively unfair. Because this is basically it. Verne is going to have a semi-final all to himself. He can drive as slowly as possible, and he's already in the final. So Verne will have more battery temp as well, and he'll have more power to use. Buemi versus Evans have now got to go out there. Whoever gets through to the final will have the disadvantage because they're facing Verne, who's had a slow lap. And then we've also got the situation where whoever doesn't get through here is also at a disadvantage because they've lost out of a fairness competition because they haven't had a correct dual system. This is mind-boggling. It's never happened before. This is a flaw with the dual system that we've exposed here in Hyderabad. What happens when both the lap times get deleted? What a situation here in India. Either way, let's see what happens. Buemi versus Evans then to join Verne in the final. In semi-final 1, Verne will be the only driver in semi-final 2, just to inform you. So Mortaro was disqualified, Bird was disqualified, Rast was disqualified. That's how it goes. Let's hear from Evans.
People here.
Okay, nothing from Evans.
Getting some Evans radio. Yeah.
Side by side then. First sector time for Buemi is a 22.645. Evans through 1 and 2. They both make it through okay, so no lap time deletions, shenanigans here. They're going to be very much on the attack modes into turn 3. Both taking a similar line. Buemi was slightly in, which means he's closing down on the overall sectors as well. Buemi's 27 thousandths off the pace of Evans at the moment as well. Just so close between them as we start pushing. Evans is ahead. by a tenth of a second. Fastest sector 1, fastest sector 2 to Mitch Evans. Buemi, first sector 22.645. Second sector 23.253. Third sector 27.635 to 113.533 from Mitch Evans. Sorry, from Sebastian Buemi. Mitch Evans is 2 tenths up. 22.618 first sector. 23.179 second sector. Third sector coming up. Who will join Vern in the final? It's Evans. 113.250. And Evans will join Vern in the final. And now, the green flag is out for the most pointless duel in Formula E history. It's Vern versus Phantom.
Good job.
Well, to be fair, guys, I don't know who's going to win this one as well. I mean, Jean-Eric Vern, he's a two-time champion as well, Season 4, Season 5. He's the record holder of pole positions at 15 as well. But Phantom, no name as well. Yeah, first name, last name. He raced in Formula 1 in a much more easier there. I'm having enough of this. This is going to be the most ridiculous lap we've ever seen. What do the guys make of it in the box?
Both of them clear, both of them... well, not through, only Evans through. Right, here we go then.
This is be fun.
Jean-Eric Vern. Right, I'll pick first on this one. I'm going Jean-Eric Vern to advance through from this semi-final.
I think it's Jean-Eric too.
I don't know why he's going so quickly.
Here he comes into the first corner.
Maybe he's using it as practice, which is actually quite a good idea as well.
Yeah.
You know, maybe he's just he's thinking about the fact that they can use the other set of tires for the final. And he'll actually use this lap to practice for the final, get his head in the right space. So that's a good idea as well.
So because more
yeah, it really is. And guys, I don't want to worry you, but look at that. He's up in the first sector. It's a 22.721. Vern is flying out there at the moment as well. He's so much quicker. What's the second sector? It's another personal best. 23.362. Vern might just get through to the final here. Through the last couple of corners. He's still up on the 10th as well. Still looking good. Jay Penske watching on, nervous as ever, to see if his driver gets through to the final. Into the 16-17 chicane. Very good indeed. I think he's hooked this one up nicely. Cross the line. It's a 113.472. He's done it. Jean-Eric Vern through to the final. In one of the most pointless semi-finals I think I've ever seen. Unbelievable. Vern is the semi-final 2 winner. Well, we didn't need to be Sherlock Holmes to work that one out.
Either.
Elementary, my dear viewers.
Whether they expect the tires to work. And that would tie in with being fast at Valencia, because Valencia is a much more abrasive surface than you have at a street track. You got higher speed corners, longer radius corners, you can generate temperature, and they were fast there. So, yeah, I think in these hotter temperatures, and maybe as we head into the summer and you go to places like Cape Town and Sao Paulo, yeah.
So we might as well check Jean-Eric Vern at turn 1 and 2 for track limits.
He was in.
And
that was great.
I mean, the rear right was not exactly comfortable.
No, but I thought that was really good. What he did on the right-hand part of the curve, he got the wheel over the inside curve and had a really sort of controlled, balanced slide, and did a very good first sector time off the back of that. So,
well, the final starts in 2 minutes. He won't have time to change tyres.
So, just a couple of minutes away from the start of the final, which will be Mitch Evans versus Jean-Eric Vern. Vern back into the garage and well, into the weighbridge, and then he'll get pushed back out and head back to the garage, and then he'll be out in the final in just a few moments' time. So
yeah, that's going to be important. Yeah, here we go.
Take the lead back in the pole position record.
Yeah, because he's level at the moment, isn't he? Yeah, 15-15.
Tied at the moment. But if Vern takes the pole, he will be back up to the top of that particular fight.
Either way, it's a new pole sitter this year.
As he gets pushed back into the garage. Jean-Eric Verne's last pole position was in Jakarta last year. Mitch Evans' last pole position was in Monaco last season, and that was a reminder of Sam Bird going over track limits at turn 1.
But the difference there, when Sam hits the curve, the car jumps up in the ground.
Yeah.
And it's just the trajectory and the angle that you get to that inside curve. See, the angle that Verne enters that first corner means that the car doesn't bounce away from the line. Here we go, here's Evans. And look, he was similar to Verne, right? So clearly both Verne and Evans have got a nice way of getting the car to comfortably and compliantly go over that right-hand curve so they don't have the track limits issue.
Well, Verne versus Evans in the final. Imminent for pole position for the first ever Hyderabad E-Prix. And the final will start in just under a minute's time. This is how we got here, rather convolutedly. For Evans, it was fine. He beat Gunter, beat Buemi. He's into the final, no problemo. Verne beat Bird, and then didn't have to face anyone in the semi-finals.
Here we go then, folks. It's the final. It's Jean-Eric Verne versus Mitch Evans. Predictor says 19% of you voted for Verne. 81% of you voted for Mitch Evans. Who's going to take the final honours as the green light goes on and the final is underway here in Hyderabad in India. The first ever India E-Prix is on its way. It's going to be such an exciting run to see who's going to have it. Predictions? Well, I will go... it's so hard to say. I don't know. Either way, DS Penske are having a return to form. Finally, they needed to. But Mitch Evans, P2, in the Jaguar. They also had a poor start to the season, but got better interior. So, anybody's guess. Evans.
Last year.
Same deal. Let's keep in mind outlap pace.
Same deal. Remember outlap pace on the board. Okay, flip a coin. Who do I think is going to take pole? Mitch Evans. Let me know in the chat. Who do you think is going to take pole position? Jean-Eric Verne or Mitch Evans? Fans watch on. They'll be packed out at 3 o'clock local time when the E-Prix gets underway here in Hyderabad. Through 12 and 13. Looking good then as well for Verne. Controlling the DS Automobiles Penske into the last 2 corners. The final can begin. It's happening in Hyderabad is the slogan around the weekend. We've been expecting it. Away we go. Jean-Eric Verne hurtles down to turn 1 and 2 at the chicane. Does he get all 4 wheels in the track limits? I think he did. He did so. And at the moment, he's faster. Evans starts his lap time. And I think he cut the corner. I think he cut the corner, you know. We'll double check. But at the moment, Evans is ahead. What's the first sector time? 22.670 for Verne. Evans is a 22.697. 27 thousandths of a second separate them at the moment. Verne has the advantage over Evans. Through 11 and 12. Coming down through as we go down. Is there going to be any better? Swinging the car through. Through 13. Jumps over the curb. Second sector time. Evans is ahead, but Verne is catching. Evans is a 23.221. Verne is a 23.277 in the middle sector. So Evans is ahead. It's a very close final. Who's going to have pole position in Hyderabad? Vern across the line with a 1:13.249. Mitch Evans is just behind him. Across the line in the Jaguar. Evans on pole in Hyderabad. 1:13.228. 21 thousandths of a second separate the two. And it is Mitch Evans in the Jaguar who takes his 4th ever career pole position in ABB Formula E. And it's a Jaguar on pole.
Delivered.
That's you're in 0.02. Well done.
He doesn't sound very happy, does he?
Now 7 pole sitters in the last 7
7 races, yeah, you're right.
In the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship. And of the previous 6, none of them have gone on to win the race.
You're
so
cheery.
That's the level of unpredictability we've got. 7 pole sitters in 7 races. And in the last 6, the pole sitter didn't even win. So, Evans gets the 3 points. And the pole position. Really quick lap times as well. Both doing 13.2s. Comfortably the 2 quickest laps that we saw
Here's
in all
Evans
of the
again.
duels. The crowd cheering Evans as he comes around.
That's good, but just enough.
Just enough indeed. It was so close all the way around the lap, it was great.
I mean, Nicky and I saw Jean-Eric Verne and Stoffel van Dorn after the race in Diriyah at the airport, and they looked so depressed. So I think if you had told them that they were going to come back here, DS Penske, and get a car on the front row, I know Stoffel's not there, but they would have bitten your right arm off.
Yeah. Let's just check, shall we?
That was perfect. Perfect. Look
It
at
was
that
right on the line.
That
Right on the line.
You cannot get closer than that, but that was perfect from Mitch Evans.
Evans on pole gets
So
3
Mitch
points.
Evans takes another career pole position. Climbs out of the car in the FIA garage.
Well, to be fair, Rast also got a point for topping the group stage. So at least he hasn't gone away that empty-handed here today because he was faster in the group stages as they come through. James Barkley congratulating the Jaguar team. I think it's a bit of a mixed bag there as well, considering that we saw a pole position chance for Sam Bird disappear. And they're all just saying, were you off the track? Were you off the limits? No, you weren't. You were perfectly on. And then the celebrations begin. Yep, you're all fine there, my friend. And the Hyderabad E-Prix getting underway at 9 a.m. GMT in 1 hour, 57 minutes time. We are on air. Sorry, 1 hour. No, 2 hours. Yeah, 1 hour. 2 hours. 2 hours 12. 2 hours 12. We're on air. Again, as the cars come through. We're waiting for the grids and the interviews to take place to hear from them. But as they come through, Verne gets pushed into the weighbridge then as we go through. Reminder that Edward Hunter and Nick Homewood will be joining me in the commentary box for the E-Prix later on today. Very excited to have them both back after missing Didier. Ed for reasons because he doesn't agree with Saudi Arabia, and Nick because he was busy. Tom Dillon stepped into the comm box. We'll be hearing from him during pre-season testing in a few weeks' time as well. So, all fantastic, all excellent. I think they're just confirming the grids at the moment. Let's go over to the guys in the box.
This is about to come alive, isn't it?
The championship he's talking about.
Right, we're about to have a look at the pole lap. So, should I talk our way around?
Please, please.
Okay. So, in the first chicane, we saw it from the outside, but let's go on board. Look at his hands there. No hint of oversteer. Didn't have to correct the slide. Just a clean run through the first chicane. That set him up for a good exit down here. Get over to the left, but don't go too close to the wall because it is dusty. And then you can see he moves his hands, just one hand on the wheel for the hairpin because you have to wind on a whole heap of steering log. Up towards 6, watch for the wall on the left-hand side. He gets so close to it there. And then a little bit of correction on the wheel. And now this sector here, important to get stability on the brace, good rear-end traction as well on the way out. And that's been a strength of the Jaguar powertrain, is traction. as we see him here coming up to the tricky braking zone of 12-13. And that was a good run there. He didn't, you know, it wasn't messy, kept a tighter line that we saw from some people we noticed getting on the dust and missing that apex. Last couple of corners, look for the curb on the left-hand side, nicely hooked up there. That is a chassis that is well dialed in, and I think
it's a great car.
What
Yeah.
we saw for their energy management in the race in Diriyah,
What a car! What a car!
you'd be hard pressed to bet against him today.
Well,
He's got the pressure.
Championship leader starting on the 5th row of the grid. Dennis, second place round in the championship, starting on the 6th row of the grid. Big opportunity for Mitch Evans this afternoon. Let's hear from him now with Radzi.
Here's our pole sitter then, Mitch Evans.
Mitch Evans, your third duels of the season, your second final in qualification, but your first pole, sportsmanship always. You must be absolutely delighted.
Yeah, I'm really happy. Yeah, my first pole in Gen 3. To be honest, we've been quick all day, and this track seemed to suit us, and to be honest, all the Jaguars. So full credit to the team for giving us the tools to be able to compete towards the front. And then yeah, the temperature's come up a lot, so the car is becoming a little bit trickier to drive. So it's just trying to be disciplined with the lap. And yeah, it was obviously very close. I knew it was gonna be close with me and Jev. So but yeah, just really delighted to get my first pole.
You talk about discipline. In terms of that turn 2, there were lots of controversy over that track limitation. Not the case with yourself. That was turn 2 perfection.
It was on the limit. When I went through, I was confident that I was fine, but I think I was just on the line. So I guess that's all you need, and I timed it well. But yeah, it's a hard corner to get right, and obviously we see some guys getting caught out, which is quite easily done. But then after that, I just took my focus for the rest of the lap and just prayed that I made it in.
You obviously get 3 points, but it also looks now very good in terms of the race. This must give you a lot of confidence going into it.
Yeah, obviously we come off the back of quite a disappointing race in Saudi when I was leading. So we've learned a lot from there, and hopefully we can take that into this race. Look, we've got some very fast cars around us, but I hope we've made some steps from Saudi and we can stay towards the front.
Great to hear from you, Mitch. And now to present the trophy for the Julius Baer pole position, it is none other than the head of private banking of the Julius Baer Asia, Rahul Malhotra, to present the Julius Baer pole position trophy.
Mitch
so another
Evans.
pole position trophy for Mitch Evans.
Yeah, Mitch Evans on pole position here in Hyderabad. A very good start then. Career pole number 4. We're just taking another look as well at turn 1 and 2. Doubly sure he was all 4 wheels on the line. Yes, he was. He didn't look like it on the original full motion, but on the super slow-mo, he was definitely on the correct course. Waiting for the official grid to pop up on the timing screens, but I don't think it is, which means we can't really explain everything that's happening unless we get it on the screen now in front of us to explain to you, and I can read it out. But so far we don't have that privilege or luck, I'm afraid, because it hasn't popped up on our screens. But the bustling city of Hyderabad, it's 12:23 p.m. So it's like, is this the starting grid coming up? Yes, it is. Brilliant. So we have got an official starting grid for the first ever Hyderabadi Prix, and it has put Jake Hughes right at the back in 21st position. Vanderlyn is 22nd, I'm noticing as well. Rast is down in 8th, so he was completely kicked out. Let's hear from John Ekvern.
John Ekvern, in an amazing turn of events. You thought you were going to be 5th on the grid. You've ended up being on the front row. How are you feeling after that duel?
I'm feeling good. I mean, after the first 2 weekends, we were so far off in qualifying, and it seems that we picked up some pace in quali, which is good. So I'm very, very happy with that front row. The last lap was very good. I think I was probably a little bit too cautious in T1 too, and I lose almost 2 tenths to Mitch in that corner. So try to catch up the rest of the lap, but yeah, not enough. Maybe next time I should take more risk, knowing that if I get my lap time delete, at worst I would have been second. So that's on me. I should have been more pushy.
It's great to see you with a smile on your face. It's been a tough season. What does this do for kind of how you feel?
Season is short, huh? So, yeah, I mean, the first 3 races were not good, but we don't give up as a team. We have many races to go. We have a lot of people working around the clock to try and make this car better, and I'm very glad to see that the hard work is paying off. Now we have to deliver a good race. And try and have the same kind of performance for all the races to come. And if it's like this, we would have forgotten the first 3 races, and we're going to try and catch up in terms of points.
Going to be absolutely fantastic to see him attempt that as well. Okay then, here it is then, the starting grid for round 4 of the 2023 season, the Hyderabad E-Prix. Mitch Evans has pole position, Jean-Eric Verne is second, then we get Sebastian Buemi going in 3rd position, 4th for Sasa Fenestraz, 5th Max Gunther, 6th for Sam Bird, 7th for Eduardo Mortara. René Rast is in 8th as well, so Fenestraz goes up to P4. Great job from him then as well for Fenestraz to go to 4th. Further down, René Rast 8th, Pascal Wehrlein 9th, Nick Cassidy is 10th, Oliver Rowland is 11th, Jake Dennis starts 12th position as well, so he's the worst of the 2 title contenders. Wehrlein 9th, so Dennis in 12th. Then we get Da Costa 13th, Norman Nato 14th, Sergio Sete Camara, he is in 15th. And then we get Dan Ticktum 16th, Stoffel Van Dorn 17th, Nico Muller 18th, Lucas de Grassi 19th, Andre Lotterer is 20th, Jake Hughes 21st, and Kelvin van der Linde goes into 22nd position on the grid. That's it then, all done for qualifying. We will be back in 1 hour, so we'll be back in 2 hours and 3 minutes time. We're on air at 9 a.m. GMT for all the build-up to the Hyderabad E-Prix. Thanks for your company during this very long qualifying session as well. It's Mitch Evans who takes a 4th career pole and the first ever here in Hyderabad. 7 different pole sitters in 7 races. Only 6 of them have failed to win from pole. Wehrlein is the only one to do so twice. Let's see how it goes. We'll see you in a couple of hours' time when we go racing in Hyderabad. Bye for now.